Chapter 6, Monitoring and Participatory Evaluation. Learning Objectives. At the end of this chapter, the student will be able to, first, define monitoring and participatory evaluation and explain its components. Second, illustrate the importance of monitoring and participatory evaluation in determining the sustainability of a project. And last, analyze the relationship between monitoring and participatory evaluation. Now, let us have first the lecture to be discussed by Ms. Dayan Mapula and Annalyn Fulgueras.
Good day everyone, I am Dayan Mapula. To monitor is to keep track of the implementation of a project. So, monitoring refers to the process of keeping track of all project-related metrics, katulad ng team performance, task duration, identifying potential problems, and taking corrective actions na kinakailangan upang matiyak na ang project is within scope, on budget, and meets the specified deadlines. It also involves the study ng pag-progress or pag-usad ng isang gawain na nauugnay sa napagkasundoang schedule, resources, and performance indicators. Bukod dito, kinikilala nito ang mga lagging areas na intervention. Ang monitoring ay tinutukoy din bilang management function guiding sa project patungo sa inilaan nitong direction and checking the performance ng mga workers na gumagamit ng predetermined plans and targets upang matiyak ang napapanahong pagkompleto or timely completion. Furthermore, monitoring is the implementation of effective internal controls which are generally built into the daily operational activities. Along with other procedures, monitoring can be in any of the following forms. First is assessment of one's daily operational activities. Second is utilization of internal audit personnel or other similar personnel who are performing a wide range of functions. Third is correspondence with third parties. And the last is implementation of additional safeguards. So, ang monitoring ay isang uri ng proseso na isinasagawa habang ang isang project ay ipinatutupad. Nilalayo nitong mabuo ang design ng project in real time. Ang impormasyong nakalap sa panahon ng monitoring ay ginagamit upang makagawa ng mahalagang pagbabago sa project. As an internal, nagbibigay ito ng patuloy na feedback sa pag-progress ng isang project. Ibig sabihin ang mga problems na kinakaharap nito at ang kahusayan which it is being implemented.
Next, we have Ms. Annalyn Fulgueras.
Evaluation is the study of the project outcome and the factors that lead to such an outcome. Examples are the changes in income, housing quality, benefits, distribution, cost effectiveness, etc., with the aim of improving the design of the future project. So, evaluation is the objective examination concerning to relevance, effectiveness, and impact of activities in the light of specified objectives. Evaluating project isolates error in order to avoid repeating them again and promote successful mechanism for current and future projects. Evaluation, therefore, is used in selection because it is a process of collecting and analyzing information in order to understand the progress, success, and effectiveness of a project. Evaluation studies assess the extent to which a certain project can produce a certain result. Examples are the increased income, better housing quality, and etc., and distribute benefits among different groups. It review of overall cost effectiveness. So it is essential to ensure that the limited resources are utilized more efficiently for a greatest possible impact. It allows us to judge the success of the activities or project that we undertake. Monitoring and evaluation are neither expensive or complicated. They do not require specialists or technicians. The complexity of these studies can be adapted to fix the needs of a program. The purpose of monitoring and evaluation are to assess project results to find out if the objectives and desired changes are being met. Second, it improves project management and process planning to better adapt to contextual and risk factors such as new social and political relations that may affect the research process. When a project is carefully evaluated, it will have a better outcome. And evaluating helps us to identify the weakness and problems of a project so that they can be reformed. Next is it promotes learning by identifying lessons of general capabilities such as how different approaches to participation affects outcomes, impacts, and reach, what works and what does not, and what contextual factors enable or constrain participatory research. Evaluation is not just about demonstrating success, but also it is about learning why things don't work. Identifying and learning from mistakes is one of the key parts of evaluation. Fourth, understand. Through direct participation in monitoring and evaluation, the different stakeholders' perspective to allow various people involved in a research to better appreciate each other's views and values and come up with ways to resolve competing and conflicting opinions and interests. And last, it ensures accountability to assess whether the project is effectively, appropriately, and efficiently executed and accounted for to the key agencies supporting the project, including but not exclusively the donors.
Good day everyone, so I am Vanessa Giastrellado, and now I am going to tackle about the monitoring outcomes. But before we start, let me first define what is monitoring and what is outcome. So monitoring is a form of assessment or evaluation, while the outcomes is an action taken as a result of a project or an activity. Monitoring outputs is not new. It has been the standard practice for a long time. As what I have said earlier, the outcome is the result of a project. So, we can ask what is the result, what is the outcome, and the impact of this to the target group. So, as a whole, we can ask what is the benefits of this project to others. So, these questions are often being neglected since this is very difficult to answer. But confronting them are highly important since the question of whether or not a project has been beneficial will answer the question whether or not the purpose has been fulfilled. Outcome monitoring systems commonly used to track the performance of the key programs over time, measuring short or long-term outcomes. So, as a whole, monitoring outcomes can be particularly useful in detecting areas where performance are below acceptable standards and also to know if the activities are improving or getting worse or it is helpful or not or beneficial or not. Now, let's proceed to the monitoring accountability to be discussed by Ms. Maricar Laban.
Monitoring accountability. It has been proven that the continuous monitoring and recording of information regarding the outcome and impact of a project are crucial in project steering, since they fine-tune activities, thereby maximizing results. So, continuous monitoring and the recording of information regarding to the impact and outcomes of the project is very essential or very important to adjust precisely so as to bring to the highest level of performance or effectiveness of the said activity. When we say steering, it is to guide or to control. For example, is the steering committees. Their role is to provide advice, ensure the delivery of the project outputs, and the achievement of the project outcomes. They provide support, guidance, and oversight of progress for the result to become successful. Providers are expected to have their projects constantly monitored and evaluated by outside experts and the project implementers. Constant monitoring and evaluation provide a more immediate feedback and facilitate learning. Having an external evaluator is considered to be desirable and very helpful in bringing out insights coming from an independent and objective perspective. So, outside experts and project implementers should always be there to monitor and evaluate the project of the providers, as it will result to a more quick response, and the students will definitely be more encouraged to take more control of their learning process. Evaluation, according to Hall, year 2012, is the process of systematically assessing the design, implementation, and effect of certain programs, projects, or policies. In the past, the evaluation process employed research methods used in the social sciences to determine the impact of public programs and policies. Modern evaluation has its roots in the 1960s when government policymakers wanted to know the impact of new public programs. So, evaluation is according to a fixed plan. May sinusunod silang proseso methodically in evaluating the design, the implementation, the effect of the certain programs, and the policies or the projects. Back then, evaluation process required research methods. So, dumadaan pa siya sa isang eksperimento in social sciences upang malaman kung ano nga ba ang epekto ng mga public programs and policies sa ating lipunan. Samantalang ang modern evaluation naman ay nagsimula noong 1951 to 1960 at ang mismong gobyerno na gumawa ng mga polisiya ang may kapasidad na malaman kung ano nga ba ang naging dulot ng mga public programs sa ating komunidad. Evaluation of completed activities is also called as post hoc evaluation, ex post evaluation, and summative evaluation, while the current or the ongoing activities is called as interim evaluation. Ex post evaluation is conducted in the years after the project's official end date. Post hoc evaluation involves looking at the data after the study has been concluded. Last but not the least is the summative evaluation or the assessment of learning. It is the assessment to the participants which focus on the outcomes of the program.
And the last topic is all about participatory evaluation to be discussed by Ms. Shanamay Lopez.
Good morning, everyone. I am Shanamay Lopez and I will be discussing about the participatory evaluation. The participatory evaluation involves the active participation of the stakeholders in assessing the implementation and impact of the project. The people concerned take time to present their own analysis. The following things that I will mention are some techniques that can be used in participatory evaluation. First is forming a focus group. Focus groups are groups of people who ask open-ended questions. The members are allowed to say anything and be heard. The facilitator will summarize the ideas presented in an overall evaluation. Second is spearheading participatory action research. Participatory action research involves asking inputs from both the researchers and the participants in determining issues and concerns. The third technique is drawing metaphors. This method is useful for participants who are shy, timid, or reluctant to voice out their comments or suggestions. In this strategy, the participants answer evaluative questions by drawing metaphors or word descriptions. The fourth technique is constructing tables. In this method, the participants construct a table or framework that includes the following areas. First is the objective or goals. Second is the activities. Third, time frame. Fourth, strategies. And lastly, the outputs of the project. They are then asked to interpret their project table as an evaluation matrix. So to sum up the techniques, first is forming a focus group. Second, spearheading participatory action research. Third, drawing metaphors, and lastly, constructing a table. The use of participatory monitoring and evaluation approaches is important for guiding the local decision making, promoting the evaluation of effective interventions, and address the emerging issues in the course of implementation.
So, that would be all for the Chapter 6 entitled Monitoring and Participatory Evaluation.